Yes, sir. Welcome to the magic.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight? I'd like to welcome to the stage the lyrically acclaimed. I like this young man because when he came out with the phrase, he went from ashy to classic. I like that. So everybody in the house, give a warm round of applause for the notorious B.I.G. The notorious B.I.G., ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him, y'all. A nigga never been as broke as me. I like that.
Green Light City, baby. I like that. Tonight, baby, I remember one time we was at the Pacers game. Sitting there courtside after the game, sitting pretty. I said, man, I need to go talk to Dale Davis. This is the true story. I walked up to Dale, I said, hey Dale, is this your son right here? Dale looked back and said, oh shit. And then he gazed off into a mirror universe, like, wait a minute. And then he tried to get the fuck away from me real quick. He got out of there. We got out of there. Shout out to Dale.
Shout out to Dale.
How have you felt over the years having that type of resemblance, you know,
Man,
as a star yourself and being amongst the stars, and you know they got your name confused?
I mean, you know, I've had things happen to me, man. It was special being named a man of that stature, Dale Davis, around the city. I've actually been able to use it in many places, and it's done me well, man.
Shout out to Dale.
Dale.
Hey, with that being said, you do a lot of laughing and dancing, singing, and they might think you're playing games. Is there something that's a hole about you? What's going on? Are you soft? Are you biscuit?
Never.
Were you shatter in quicksand?
Never been biscuit.
Warrior. Are you warrior?
Ain't nothing but a warrior, man. You know what I mean? If you test these battlegrounds, you might go down. Hey, you want to come with the biscuit? Okay. Well, you'll see these hands, they're biscuit. Okay? So, yeah.
I heard you got into a scrap in socks. IUPUI, I think Nasty told me something about that. Shout out to King. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Was it a slippery situation coming from Gary, Indiana? Has Gary been indicted into this? Shout out to Glenn Robinson. We need to talk, big dog. We need to talk.
And what's crazy is I got special people out of Gary. I don't understand why this guy had to come down and want to test Big Buck. I don't understand.
Was it because of a wild elbow you threw? You're known for flagrant.
No, it wasn't none of that. It was more of a it was more of a Gary Indy battle.
Was? Oh, yep. Yeah, that era.
Yeah, we was in that era where, you know, Gary, people was from Gary was coming down just kind of, you know, trying to fit into the mix.
And try to take over.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Kim and them.
Yeah, but I mean,
Free Big Kim.
I love Gary people. You know, I got a lot of my close friends in Gary, man, but you know, this particular situation, you know, this guy comes down. I don't know who he is, but he's coming to my gym. Right. You know what I'm saying? And my people's here. So he tried to test me, didn't know me. And he didn't know me. And so I told him, well, we'll stop the game and let's take it outside.
Oh, so it was your idea.
It was my idea when he got to talk crazy. He stepped boundaries. He stepped over his boundaries.
Stepped over his boundaries.
So when I missed the goal to take my shoes off to get into the street
was
here.
Was they Jordans? Or was they Pumas?
They definitely would have been Jordans.
Okay.
Took them off, and this guy approached me. He walked up on me quick.
Yeah.
So, you know, when somebody walk up on you quick, I got socks on now. So.
Footies?
No.
With the ball balls on the back?
No, ain't no ball.
You
got the socks on.
We gotta talk. Now I need the rainbow back. I don't know what y'all gonna do behind closed doors. That's on y'all.
But you know, you don't test me like that, man. So, you know, when he approached me, and my first instinct was to knock him out.
Ah, so you drew first blood.
Definitely drew first blood when you walk in my space.
Good man, good man. With that being said, heard you have had allegations of fighting warriors.
Yeah.
Since I know you so well, I know you know I was gonna say you're known to swing on a cheerleader or two.
Hey, man,
but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Slow down. We're gonna get to that. He's world famous for a lot of things. Yes, he is. Ain't no secret. With that being said, this fighting spirit always comes from the seed it was planted from. Taking it back to the ones that brought you to this earth. I believe you got a dad still alive and a mother that's not with us.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a few people that's not with us. Because we still got to get to this Big John bullshit he's talking about. He banged on Big John. But right now, listen, would you care to shout out your parents? What's her name?
Yeah, you know, my mother's name is Takeda Johnson, you know, God rest her soul. You know, my pop's name, he's got the same as me, you know, Rickey Buckley. Shout out to Pops.
So Junior, or are you Junior?
Nah, he don't have a middle name, so it doesn't make me a junior, so
I thought you was Rickey Lee.
Rickey Lee, that's my mom's middle name.
Was it Bruce? Was Bruce really today?
I don't know, man. He gave me the hands. If he was, he submitted the hands to me.
Good man.
But you know, I think my anger came from a young age. You know, as you know, my mother got murdered when I was 12. So a lot of the anger within me was, you know, from that moment. You know, of me seeing my mother.
Ah, you seen it?
Yeah. So,
what happened?
you know,
Shut the deck. I mean, because I kind of remember the story, I kind of don't. I ain't gonna lie. You know, a lot of that shit you want to forget, but let's set the record straight. I feel like the people need to know. What happened, man? Like, what the fuck happened?
You know, my mother was in a, you know, regular relationship, you know, just like anybody else. You know, she had a boyfriend that, you know, that kind of wanted to stick around. She was trying to cut him loose. You know how sometimes some relationships go.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Really loved her. She really was trying to move on. And the whole time, you know what I mean, he was setting it up to take her out. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah. So.
What you mean setting her up to take her out? What?
Well, you know, certain people don't let people go, man. You know, they.
So what it was like, I can't get her back, but I'm gonna play enough games to stay close enough to strike.
Yeah.
Was it a moment of
much,
fate? Was it? You saying it's premeditated?
Yeah, premeditated. You know, probably would have killed me if I didn't.
Wasn't you? I heard you were supposed to be there that day.
I was supposed to be there.
Being at the link, but you wasn't. Was that what happened?
Nah, it really was.
What happened?
I think it was more. Now I look back, I think it was more my mother trying to.
She already knew what was going on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she kind of guided me in another direction. I could have went in, but it didn't happen that way. So, you know.
Hold on, so what, you had spent the night somewhere, did you?
Yeah, I actually went to my aunt's house that night. Spent the night there.
Shout out to Aunt.
Aunt Sanita, you know, rest in peace. My other aunts that passed.
Yeah, the heavens are with us on this edition. You know what I'm talking about?
So it was a hard thing, you know. My aunt was basically kind of taking me in.
Nah, hold on, wait a minute. You went to Auntie's house.
Yeah, that night.
Feeling lovely, was you feeling like Jordan? You were swimming the street, was you like what mood was you in?
Well, the move was a transition here with my father. That was the move. It wasn't even the move.
No, I'm talking that night.
That night.
So you already knew you
I knew I was coming here with my father.
She was already trying to get rid of you.
Right.
Trying to protect you.
Trying to protect.
Right.
So, you know, but not really knowing she was
Right.
protected. So, you know, my father was coming to get me, you know, and
On the way from that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when he got there, you know, I immediately told him, you know, look, you know, I ain't talked to my mother in a couple of days, because it took him about a day to get there. So I was like, I ain't talked to my mother in a couple of days. I don't know what's going on. Called her job, you know, wasn't nobody, you know, they just say they didn't heard from her. So when my dad got there, we all went to my house. You know, got to the house.
Where your mother stayed?
Where my mother stayed. You know, my father, a couple of my cousins, you know, we led to the door, you know, knocked on the door. You know, my dog was in the house at the time, was coming to the door. So I already knew, felt like somebody was there, you know what I mean? But, you know, at the time, I missed to go back, just check on her in the back in her room, knock on the window. My dad went to go look for somebody, open the door, turned back around. My father got in, opened the door, and when he opened the door, my father and my aunt went in together, and then, you know, just heard the screams, man. And so I rushed in, and, you know, I seen my mother, man, and, you know, her boyfriend killed her. Shot her 5 times.
How you know it was him?
He was dead too. He was there too. So I found both of them, man. So it was kind of crazy. So that'll make anybody turn a different route in life. So from there, you couldn't tell me nothing. So the war began inside. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, if you don't go talk to nobody right away about it, you know, you just got to be in those situations where you just got to take matters in your own hand. And so that's how I ended up having a lot of anger. And a lot of people didn't know that, but, you know, I had to deal with it the best way I can, you know.
Out the gate. I feel like she's here with us today.
Absolutely. She's
Shout
been
out
with
to
me
Mom.
all day, every day.
You know what I'm talking about? The whirlwind story from championship rings to hanging out with Shaq to foreign countries, from a kid that started out black and ugly as ever. What do you think your key to success was that made you stay Poochie down to the sides? And the way your experiences came, rings and watch.
Well, first of all, you know, it started, the heart of a champion comes from people around you, right? Role models. So it started with my coach, Coach LaVelle, Eddie LaVelle, R.I.P.
Shout out to LaVelle.
And a lot of people would know him around the city, one of the greats. Eddie LaVelle was the one that pulled it out of me. I think he ignited my fire on knowing that I could be, you know, bigger than what I would. You know, playing ball, you know, back on the east side, school 19, that's where I started playing. Frederick Douglass out south. Eddie used to come to the gym. We was undefeated all the time, you know.
Undefeated. You
Undefeated.
know the feeling?
So I started out undefeated. And then when Eddie Bell seen me play, I was raw. I would get every rebound. Might not been able to score as much, but I'd get every rebound. So he knew I had the heart.
Yeah.
So he used to come, pick me up every day, come to my house, drive me around the city. He used to have coach used to have the special, he used to drive the car that teaches you how to drive.
Yeah.
So he would drive around the car in the city. I used to ride with him. And he used to take me to the gym, man, work on my game.
Did Coach LaVelle have a famous quote that you remember?
God damn it, deluxe to hell, Buckley.
That was his quote.
God damn it, deluxe to hell.
That's his thing.
Shout out to Coach Lavelle.
Coach
He
Lavelle.
once ran up on me at a gas station when I was a young teen, but I was headed to see Doug Mitchell. And his famous phrase was what again?
God damn it, Deluxe to hell.
Green Light City, baby.